Welcome back to Broke Man Finance. My name is Adam, and in this video, we are going to be taking a look at Ideanomics, ticker symbol IDEX, and what exactly they have going on as of late, and are they a buy, a sell, or are they a hold? And make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can continue to try to bring you videos that we believe can bring you value. And also, while you're at it, go down just a little bit to the description box below where you will find a list of links of what I consider my financial tools and things that I use on the daily that helps me make and save money. Ideanomics remains one of the most intriguing and interesting plays out there. They are currently trading for $3.07 at the time of this filming. It has seen a drop over the past couple of months, like a lot of the market has, but they are still up over 200% on the year. Ideanomics brings together fleet operators that need to purchase large numbers of vehicles and manufacturers of electric vehicles. It also links businesses looking to buy EVs with financing companies and makers of chargers for these same EVs. This is a sales to financing to charging business model, essentially a one-stop shop for someone or a company shopping for a fleet of EVs. Ideanomics is basically the middleman facilitating these deals. Financing a fleet of EVs can be very difficult because it's hard to put an exact value, a blue book value on these cars, because the batteries alone can be up to 50% of that value. A lot of companies just don't have capital laying around where they can go buy a fleet of electric vehicles just outright. So that's where Ideanomics comes in. Not only can they help them with financing, they can help them get those EVs themselves, as well as figure out the charging solutions. Ideanomics has two divisions, Ideanomics Mobility and Ideanomics Capital. Ideanomics Mobility is their footprint in the EV sector, and the capital side is their footprint in the fintech side. Companies like Intelligenta, Medici Motorworks, Wave and their wireless charging, that's one I really like, SolarTrack and their electric tractors. And now their latest stake is 20% in electric motorcycle company Energetica. The Italian company builds high-performance electric-powered street motorcycles and the race bikes used in the Moto World Cup. In 2020, electric motorcycle sales were up 50% and mirrored that of EV sales. Do me a favor and make sure to read up and do your own due diligence on some of these companies under the umbrella of Ideanomics. In fact, I've done videos in the past. Feel free to go look at some of those. I'll leave a link above my head. I find it hard to believe that companies like Medici, Wave, which I really like, SolarTrack, if these companies were being publicly traded by themselves and not under the umbrella of Ideanomics, where do you think those share prices would be at? With a little bit of hype, it could say, if they were publicly traded companies, a little bit of hype could send those share prices soaring. But is that same potential being translated through Ideanomics now into their share price? Ideanomics 2020 quarter 4 report is very clear that Ideanomics Mobility is the future of this company. Alfred Poor, the Ideanomics CEO, had this to say: "We are very pleased with the transformation that took place this past year." Poor highlighted the fact that EV revenue in 2020 was $19.5 million. That is 622% higher than it was last year. It accounted for 73% of its $26 million in overall revenue. Ideanomics also said that it has $330 million in cash at the end of March. Even more major news coming out of the Ideanomics camp. They just announced a new chief revenue officer that they believe can help push this company to new heights. Meet Kristen Helsel, and I apologize if I don't say that correctly. Before Ideanomics, Kristen was a partner of DKS Investments. Previously, she had served as Chief Revenue Officer for Pika Energy. She became Senior Vice President of Sales for Generac after Pika was sold to Generac. Before Pika, Kristen served as the Vice President and General Manager of the Electric Vehicle Solutions AeroVironment. Ideanomics CEO Alf Poor said, "Kristen has a proven track record for growing revenues in both the automotive and energy management industries, as well as building and leading high-performing sales teams. We are excited to bring someone on board with experience at the intersection between automotive and energy that is essential to successful EV adoption. At Ideanomics, Kristen is going to be responsible for driving hypergrowth, performance, strategy, and alignment of the company's revenue-generating departments. Now, Ideanomics is no stranger to their own sets of issues. For instance, in Connecticut, they had bought a piece of property that they were going to make a fintech hub, and they were planning on putting millions and millions of dollars into it. However, recently, liens were placed against the property for over $4 million for non-payment for a company boasting over $330 million in cash at the end of this last month. Plus, they just stakes in the electric motorcycle companies, acquiring Timios. It just seems very odd to me that they would not just either hold on to this property or pay for it, because they ended up selling it for less than it was even valued for. Plus, in the past, Ideanomics has not always been Ideanomics. They have been several other companies, several other names with several different focuses. It seemed as if they finally settled on Ideanomics and have really been hyper-focused on EVs and doubling down on it, but to a lot of investors, it seemed as if they were just chasing whatever industry was hot at the time, making a lot of people very skeptical about the company and very leery of investing any real money. And, well, to be honest, a lot of those same people consider them an investment group more than they consider them a revenue-driving business. So there is a lot of skepticism and makes this play very speculative. But with Joe Biden and the buzz getting generated from that administration over how bullish they are and wanting to be on going EV and all electric on everything, and the amount of just the fact that they're going to put billions into EV and the infrastructure, there's a good chance that Ideanomics will get a slice of that pie because they just have their hands in so many things. I find it very unlikely that they don't benefit from those billions of dollars going into the EV market. Now, with all of that being said, do I believe that this is a buy, sell, or hold? Right now, I am considering this a hold. Not because I don't think that this company has an enormous amount of growth. I'm not bearish on the company whatsoever. I just believe that there's still some more red days coming up in the market, and I believe that Ideanomics could fall victim to it, just like lots of other companies are too, and that we could see that share price continue to fall down some. So I say hold your money, wait, let that share price fall down a little more, and then buy in. I would love to see it get back down to around that 250 mark, and that's when I would really consider it a buy. Because I'm just saying I believe we could get more for our money. There are just too many catalysts right now, too many catalysts for EV, for anything EV to sell right now. Too many catalysts for Ideanomics. Now, if this thing were to start pushing up, I still got to say hold out. I would still like to see another earnings report to see what they do this quarter, even with it starting to push up before I put any real money into it. So if it starts pushing up, I want to see that earnings report. If it starts to drop, I would like to see it get back down to around that 250 mark before I'm starting to buy shares. And even if it dropped under 250, at that point, I would consider averaging down. I just think 250 would be a great entry point for a company like Ideanomics. Or if you're holding on the high side, start averaging down. But I think it could eventually get there. But let me know what you think a good share price is in the comment section below. Do you think it's going to go up? Do you think it's going to go down? What do you think is going to go on with Ideanomics in the future? As always, I hope those stocks stay green. I hope you stay safe, and I hope everyone out there takes care.